It's my pleasure to introduce you all to two very fine, smart Glenn Middle School young people, Gillian Taylor and Andreas Garcia, who are a part of one of the neatest groups in San Angelo, if not the United States, a group called the Aqua Squad. That's a part of our partnership with our great museum, San Angelo ISD, and the Upper Colorado River Authority?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Excellent. And you all applied to be a part of this very select group of how many?
10.
And that group, I saw y'all's applications, and you were chosen to have some fun, but have a lot of work. You knew that going into it, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Excellent. Has it been true?
Yes.
The fun part and the work part
Yes.
has been true?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You all got to start your adventure, this year-long adventure, by going where?
San Diego.
San Diego.
To one of the things on my bucket list. And you got to do something that very few people, if I went right now to the San Diego Zoo, I wouldn't get to do what you got to do. Tell us what you got to do.
We got to tour their, what was it? It was
The Frozen Zoo.
The Frozen Zoo. We got to see their Frozen Zoo, which is where they save cells from animals and plants. And
They're greatly, and have been for a long time, into genetic research, aren't they?
yeah.
And so that's why most zoos would not have this going on.
No.
But they're hugely into genetic research.
Yeah.
So what kind of place was this Frozen Zoo?
It's like a room.
It's just a room, really,
it's a
with
room
these
full of
big
these-
containers that have liquid nitrogen flowing through them to keep the cells frozen or asleep until they need them to do more research.
And scientists are working there, very, very smart people. And they are trying, what kind of research are they doing there?
They're researching the cells of all these animals, and they can actually bring them to life.
Well,
And
they're
make-
trying
yeah,
to.
trying to.
They're trying to. Really, the research is made so that if an animal gets sick, they can figure out what's wrong with it, and they can prevent other animals from getting that same sickness or disease, and to help them learn more about the animal than just typical everyday stuff that we know about him already.
What on earth would that be? Why is that important in relationship to you all being interested in water?
Well, there's some cells in the river that if we don't have, it could mess up the whole ecosystem.
Like if the animals need, well, of course the animals need water, but if the animals start to die out, the water will start to absorb the skin cells that the dead animal got. When it died, it sort of just flows everywhere when it rains, so the stuff can get in the water and then it can hurt other animals, I guess.
We had this opportunity for you young people because of our director of our museum, who knows the director of the San Diego Zoo, which we don't normally think of as a museum, but in fact it is. And you all got to watch and listen to some of the smartest people on animal research today. Now that you're back home and that fun trip is past, what are you all working on now?
Well, we're working on a photo exhibit, which will be on October the 18th. And we're gonna put up tons of pictures about what we've learned about all of our water problems, and we're gonna educate the community and tell them about them.
And it opens October 18th at the
Coop Gallery.
which is one of the houses to the side
yes.
of the museum.
And after the Coop Gallery, it'll move to the Water Education Center after that.
And people can still drop
Yes.
by and visit y'all's
Yes.
display. What did you learn about how to display information so that you can teach people like me things that you've learned?
We have another mentor, Megan, and she taught us the elements of design, like rules of thirds, texture, and lines. And so we used those while we were taking pictures in San Diego. So it's more of a science art kind of thing. It's leaning towards both of them. It's kind of in the middle.
Well, we know that Mr. Taylor has been interested in science and art, and so this just flows right along with that. So did all 10 of you get to take pictures?
Yes.
Yes.
Were some of you better than others at this?
We all had our ups and downs with
Yeah.
some
That's
of them.
fair, that's fair. Well, did you get better?
Yes.
Oh, all
we
of us
all
did.
All, I
of
like
us
that,
did.
I
There-
like that.
Some of the pictures you would look at and be like, seriously, I took that? And then you would look at another one and you'd be like, oh, that's much better. Okay, yeah, I feel much better now. Okay.
Well, don't you imagine professional photographers feel the exact same way,
Yes.
Gillian? They wonder sometimes, how did my finger
Yes.
capture that, or what on earth was I thinking?
Yeah.
You you also do other things in our community besides develop this display of your photography about the theme of water.
Yes.
What other things, tell our audience what you do.
We have a website and
Well, we have a blog.
a blog.
We have a blog and we've put all the things that we've learned, what people can do, and what we've been doing. So when we were in San Diego, we put up a few blog entries about what we learned in San Diego at the zoo and the Museum of Photographic Arts.
And tell us the difference. Why would you do a blog over just doing a website?
Well, with a blog, you can put pictures on it, and then you can also put words underneath. Well,
You can do that on the
yeah, you can do that on a
website.
website.
Can on a blog other people, if I'm back home and you're in San Diego, converse with you? Would that be a difference?
It's kind of like Facebook. You leave comments.
Yes,
and
exactly.
so people can say, oh, that's really, really cool. Can you show us some more on this subject or something like that?
Or ask you a question?
Yeah, or they can ask us questions and we can leave comments back on them or reply to their questions.
Well, I've looked at it and I was astounded, and I mean that sincerely, at the depth of what you all learned. I can tell you that throughout my science courses at some pretty good universities, I didn't learn or get to have the opportunity that you just had this summer. That was pretty amazing, isn't it? I want to read the other classmates with you all.
Okay.
At Glenn, John Chambers, Dakota Robles, and Joe Navarro joins you all from
Yes.
Glenn. Lincoln, Kirsten Davis, and Ashley Fuentes. And from Lee, Julia Shell, Henry Teeter, and Diamond Gullett. And all of you committed, and when you applied, that whenever you were asked to do an activity, which is normally either research or community service,
Yes.
a lot of community service, you would agree to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
It also, part of it was you have to be able to work well in a group.
Yes, that's important.
Is it hard?
Once you make friends with each other, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I remember. I the first day I was like, what am I supposed to do? And then I actually realized that I actually knew someone in the group, so that kind of softened things a little bit. And then when you get to know the people, it's really, really easy. So you're like, oh yeah, let's work together, woohoo!
Well, so you found that you had a common interest.
Yes.
All of you applied. You all knew pretty much what you were getting in for. But I think what I've been excited to hear about your group is that you have worked well together. Sometimes that's hard. But if we all can learn to do it at a younger age, when you get to be my age, it might be a little easier. Tell me the neatest thing so far, each of you, about being in the Aqua Squad.
Well, being able to do stuff like this and actually talk to people through TV and blogs and all the other things just gives me a good feeling.
And a good feeling, I'm going to push you here just a little bit, and confidence that you have information that's important to them. What gives you that good feeling?
Well, to me, I like to know that I'm making a difference. That's the biggest thing.
Don't forget how good that feels the rest of your life. Good job, Andreas. What about you?
Well, I actually moved here last summer, and so, because my dad's in the military, and so we moved here, and I found out that I could do Aqua Squad, and for some reason, my stomach was just, it was like all flopsy and saying, ooh, you should do that, and my head was saying, oh yeah, do that. And so when I applied and I got the letter that said that I was accepted and I needed to get an interview, I literally could not sleep that night. And then when I went to the interview, I was so nervous, but then when I met everyone and I realized that one of our members, Dakota, was there, she goes to my school, obviously, and so I saw her and I was like, someone's here. Okay, this is easier. And just getting to meet everybody is amazing, and when I leave here on Friday, I am gonna feel so great having to tell everybody that I helped educate the community on water issues, and it gives me that good feeling inside that I did something.
You know, water issue is one of the things that's been on the front page of our paper when a lot, and it will continue to be. A few years ago when we started Aqua Squad, we weren't in drought stage. So people, I'm sure, thought, well, that's really cute that those young people are researching water. Now, our city and part of our state knows this is serious business. So are you finding people are listening to you, even though you're young?
Yeah.
Yes.
Christy Euchre actually told us that more people showed up to the water forum this year because we were gonna come and support them. So,
Well, they want to make sure that if there's any way they can learn something that will help
Yes.
them be smarter users of water.
Yes.
People want to know more about it, not just to come and listen to some smart young
Yeah.
people like you. They want to be smarter about their own water use and find one thing maybe that I can do and contribute. What is something that you have learned that you hope to implement for the rest of your life as a smarter water user?
Well, one thing is mainly you want to find everything that you can do to conserve water, but one thing is whenever you mow your grass, the grass clippings actually get into the street, and whenever it rains, it drains all of the grass to the river, and it can build sediment and make rivers smaller.
So what will help make that not a problem?
You can get these bins on your lawnmower and put the grass in the bins, and they can either be recyclable, and you can take them to the dump and they'll biodegrade, or you can put them back on your lawn, and they're like natural fertilizers.
Wow. Well, I knew that we need to collect the clippings, but I
Yes.
didn't realize how much it impacted the runoff water. You've just taught me something. What about you, Gillian?
I probably will take my own advice from the video we just did and take shorter showers, because my parents thought it was pretty funny that I got that one, because I take like an hour-long shower. And so
Well,
I'm
but
gonna
if you
save
and
water.
I both, and I work on that because I've learned from groups like you that I need to be careful, and I can do my part. Everybody
Yes.
can, can't they?
Yes.
What do you like doing this year? You've really just been a part of Aqua Squad maybe 4 months or so, maybe 5 months.
Yeah.
So you have 7 or so months left in this year. What will Dr. Euchre have you all doing the rest of this time?
Big thing is definitely photo exhibit.
We're definitely working on that, and a little bit more educating of the community. We're doing a lot of hands-on activities, and so just working with the community and educating them.
Well, I can hardly wait to come see your photo exhibit, because there's a whole lot from your blog that has piqued my interest. And since I wasn't able to go with you this summer, I've got a lot that you've got to help me to learn and help me to appreciate anything that I don't already know. If I don't know, sometimes I might not make good choices. So I thank you all very much. No one would know that you are middle schoolers. They would think from your maturity that you are older, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for applying to be a part of this group and to still want to work hard to educate people like me. Thank you all.
No problem.